seems like their length was an issue throughout. How much is it an issue trying to get good shots off it's a team like that?
Yeah, they got a good defense. Both the bigs are long, athletic. They can definitely muck things up. I think we just came out a little slow on the offensive end. Um, I think different points throughout the game, we got shots that we wanted, but not enough.
Seemed like you got off to a slow start. How much, and then you got going in that third. How much was it what they were showing you? How much was it maybe you're just missing shots? You just didn't feel as good, or how did that?
Anyway, it's a little slow start for sure. I'll be ready to go whenever we play next.
What can you say about sort of Cleveland's way, how they packed the paint for you guys, and seeing how they outscored you guys in the paint? What were they doing offensively and even defensively to kind of get you guys out?
Yeah, I mean, the two bigs they play are both really good. They play off each other really well on both sides. And we're in the zone a little bit. They were able to get into the middle and expose us that way. So, they did their job enough.
As they're supposed to saying the spacing, I thought a little off tonight, obviously, with their base. Just in general, how much are you guys kind of figuring out still the offense with the new lineup?
Yeah, still working through it. Obviously, it's new for us playing two bigs. So still working on the spacing. Like I said the other day, some nights it'll look better than others. And like I said, we're still working through it.
So the big announcement tomorrow night. Do you feel you've made your case?
We'll see. See what happens.
How would you describe the challenge of you guys getting doubled up on offensive rebounds and such, just losing the possession battle and trying to dig out an early hole?
Yeah, I mean, we try to get off to better starts. The first and third quarters are big for us just to get off to the right start. A lot of that's on me and the first unit.
Regardless of what happens tomorrow, it's pretty clear you're going to be one of the options to be in one of those reserve spots. What does that mean to you that you reached to the point where pretty much at this point people expect, hey, you will probably be an all-star or likely or at least deserve to be even if you're not?
It's nice. See what happens, though. Hopefully can be voted in. We'll see what happens.
You guys now go on a 4-game road trip here. Do you see it sort of as another opportunity to kind of get things straight and maybe regain that fire and energy coming back home next time?
Yeah, we just got to keep our heads high to try to build off, not tonight, but the last two games. Like I said, some nights will look better than others with what's going on right now, but we're just continue to work and get through everything, try to get better every day.
Bam, obviously wing defense had a lot to do with the differential of points in the paint as well, but was the thought with your two big front, could you have foreseen the second chance points and the points in the paint being like that, and how concerning is it now that you've gone big?
I mean, we're still working through things, trying to figure out how we can obviously get better through through these ups and downs and be more consistent. I mean, obviously the second chance points is a big problem that we need to hone in on, but it's not just because we got two bigs out there you think you're gonna fix a problem. You're trying to add pressure to a rookie that just really started getting his minutes and started to get his feet wet. So I don't really look at it in that sense, but we do collectively as a group have to get better in rebounding.
There are moments where there's interior passing between you two, and there's moments where there's lobs, but Spo said the spacing tonight, especially with the big lineup, was a little off. What are you guys still working towards, especially when it's not just threes and you guys are trying to score in the paint?
I mean, just getting great spacing. Obviously, like I said, it's a work in progress. It's been a small sample size, so we got to work through it. Everybody's gonna point to that because it's like, oh, that's the glaring, because that's supposed to be the fix. It's gonna be ups and downs to this. So for us, is really continue to stay confident, and it'll work.
Obviously, it's easier said than done when it comes to defending a guy like Donovan on the court in terms of what he can do, drawing the defenders around him, and obviously the way he passes. What sticks out to you?
I mean, he's a good player. That's it.
Bam, obviously after this game, you're going on a 4-game road trip, then coming back home. Is it sort of another opportunity to kind of maybe get the mind straight and get away from maybe the chaos and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah. I mean, anytime you go on the road, it's a time to really become that brotherhood, that togetherness. You don't got your family, you don't got the normal home routine. We're all on the road, and we're going into this trying to get 4 up, 4 down.
Bam, I know you guys reference sometimes like your defense helps set up your offense, like being able to get in rhythm, and those early holes can be a challenge to dig up out of. Like just speaking, not even just to the possession battle, but you doubled them up on free throws as well. But like, if you guys aren't controlling free possessions like that, like how challenging is it to dig out of those holes throughout the game?
I mean, as you can see, that's their number one team in the East for a reason. So any little minor mistake, miscommunication, defensive lap, anything like that, they capitalize on it. You don't box out, they're going to get second chance points. And it's for us, how do we get to the next level of, zeroing out the minimal mistakes? How do we get to the point where we start, not as too many my bads, and, we start fixing it?
Hey, Bam. I think you and Max are quite close. How was it for you today playing against him, and can you share some talks that you maybe have on the court?
I mean, it's good to see him out there. Max has been hurt since like training camp. So I think this is 4th or 5th game back. So obviously you wish guys health and wealth, and but for the most part, it was a small talk. Just saying a little slick stuff, and then you kind of move on. Yep.
Terry, obviously they have the record they have for a reason and do what they do because of their talent. What's it like going up against when they have two bigs that play that way, and then when they have a wing like Donovan? What's it like trying to compete with that, even on a night when you personally have one of your better games?
It's not easy, but it lets you know the difference in this league from the number one team in the East to wherever the 3 or 4 or 5 spot at. They connected, they play together. Every time we battled back and brought it to 10, it just pushed right back up to 16, 18. That's credit to them. They very connected, very together.
Terry, the 68 paint points that they had kind of stands out. What did you think led to their success around the rim? Was it as far as just perimeter defense or more inside?
Yeah, I think it's just a lack of communication from us, these last 48 hours. Obviously we had a good win last game, but I'm not trying to say we came in lackadaisical, but, we got to come in with that fire no matter what and just build off our last win. And I think that we didn't start the way we wanted, and then they just, like I said, when you give a team like that any type of room, they super connected, and it's going to be tough for us to battle back, and that's what it looked like tonight.
Terry, I know you're not playing all your minutes with Bam and Clay on the floor at the same time, but with the new alignment rotations you guys are running with, Spo was just talking about how the spacing wasn't great all the time tonight. Are you guys kind of figuring out the spacing with this new group?
Yeah, that's what we're talking about a lot. We're watching a lot of film, seeing how we can, feed off one another, stuff like that. And, obviously you see they two bigs. I think that's what we're trying to get to, our offense, where they playing well off one another. It'll happen. Obviously, we got two bigs that space the floor. So, sometimes it can be a problem. Sometimes, it can be helpful. But we just got to find that niche.
Terry, obviously now you're going on the road for 4 games before coming back. Do you see this sort of as an opportunity to kind of get things straight for the team, like you said, kind of regain maybe that energy and that fire?
Yeah, I think it's a perfect situation for what we got going right now. Just lost a tough one to the number one team. Now we go on the road for 4 games, and it's going to be some tough environments. But I think I won't say make and break our season, but it's going to be huge for us, and this is the games that we need to win.
There was a lot of Louisville and Kentucky out there on the floor. How did it feel playing against a former Louisville Cardinal out there?
Oh, it's always good. It's always good. Donovan's a little bro, a hell of a player, a hell of a guy. So it's always a great matchup, when I go against him.
Erik, obviously that points in the paint column stands out more than anything. It's 68-38, but it didn't seem as much inside dominance as also blow-bys and getting to the rim. So which was it more, and how concerning is that?
Yeah, all the above. we have to shore that up. I mean, the start of the game, they had 22 points in the paint, basically in the first quarter, and we're thinking, hey, this is a 3-point shooting team. They haven't even started their game yet. So that didn't really set the tone, for the game, and we also got introduced, to the team that's first in the East for a reason. Every time we were able to get the thing to anywhere from 8 to 12 to 13 points, if we made any kind of poor decision offensively, either shot selection or just decision making, it turned into a 6-8 point run immediately. If we didn't block out, and we had it within that range, it turned into a 6-8 point run immediately. So then those are the things that, you have to start with, and then you deal with Donovan Mitchell. Garland obviously didn't play tonight, but you have to deal with the things that are hard. But there's other things that we're capable of doing, having better spacing, executing with more intention, better shot selection. And that's all with how we know how to play defensively, disrupting things in the paint a lot better than we did at the rim, in the paint, in the dotted circle. That's our strength zone right there, and they pretty much had their way in that area. And then, of course, you're thinking about, Donovan Mitchell, the kind of great one-on-one plays that he made. But there were a lot of other things that we would have had to check those boxes, to give ourselves a better chance.
It obviously wasn't Gallo's best game on either end, but what lessons can we learn from a game like this where he's going up against a front line of Mobley and Allen?
Yeah, that they're capable inside the circle, and there's a lot of decision making there. One, you have to defend with purpose and intent and physicality, and without fouling. Not giving up the short hooks or things right at the rim, at a high rate, but also then with their spacing, not just chasing unrealistic blocks, that opened up things, as well. That's part of it. Their spacing is very good, so there's a lot of decisions that you have to make, underneath the basket when you're rotating. But that's part of the deal.
And the lobs have been great for the past couple of weeks, but other than dunk shots specifically, it's been a bit of a struggle finding efficient 2-point shots at times. Do you feel like you guys are generating the ones and missing, or is it a developing thing?
Each game it might be a little bit different. Tonight, we had a really crowded paint. I don't think there was a whole lot that we were doing consistently that was hard to guard. Now, I'm not taking anything away from their defense. They're a very good defense, but we would have had to execute with a lot more purpose to open things up that I think would have cleared up some easier decisions instead of some of the tough decisions we were making. And then, we'll figure out the shot diet from there. There were some really poor spacing possessions, poor decision possessions, some poor shot selection possessions, and then we'll figure out the shot distribution from there.
Spo, it's obviously that they are rebounding you guys tonight, but what stands out to you in terms of just when they pack the paint, their length? What stands out to you from that standpoint, especially when you mention their front line?
You have to, basically what I just said, we have to, execute and trust, and do things with a lot more purpose, than what we did, tonight.
When you look at that Mobley Allen front line, obviously it's been a couple of years in the making for them to kind of develop that chemistry, but with how you guys are playing now, are they almost like, not to say that you're copying them, but are they kind of like a model of like how two bigs can kind of coexist and play with and each other?
Yeah, but ours are a little bit different, other than like their height, I think it's a little bit of a reach, trying to compare. The teams are built differently.
Coach, the possession battle was a bit of a struggle tonight as well. Offensive rebounds and second chance opportunities, and like you guys, you got to the free throw line more often and made more threes. But what's the challenge of digging out that hole if you can't?
Yeah.
If you're only having like one possession at a time.
I feel like I'm on repeat right now. Some of the decision making, poor spacing that was leading to some poor decisions, and then there were some outright poor decisions, and then the rebounding again. We're a bigger front line, and this needs to be corrected. There are no excuses now. We have to be a lot more physical and purposeful on the glass. It's that important for us to finish possessions.
Hey, Coach, it's the first game this season that you saw Max Strus playing now for the Cavaliers. Can you say something about his game, what you saw, how he developed, also that he reached now the 600 three-point mark?
Yeah, Max is way more than just a three-point shooter. I mean, I think that's what he was billed as coming into it and breaking through. I just love stories, like Max, obviously, but somebody that comes through this, these doors and has a dream that's and has to fight over, fight over adversity, that's uncommon. I just love that, and that's why I really respected him. I was always drawn to Max. He has a toughness. He's a great competitor. And he was a D2 guy, that had to work his way through DePaul, and then the G League, then dealing with an injury. That's a lot of fortitude. It's just a great story. He's earned everything he's gotten. All right, thank you.